Hello everyone, hopefully you're having a great day. I quickly wanted to talk about SpaceX and how it's been doing since it's gone public on June 12th and whether or not you should buy it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to give you the best information I can, and I'm trying to help you make the best logical decision. So SpaceX, as of right now, provides services primarily in regards to satellite-based broadband services like Starlink and space travel. Now I wanted to show you a little infographic with a couple statistics as to what they've been able to achieve and what they plan to do in the future. So on that right side, you have the primary services that they provide, which includes space launches, government missions, crew and cargo transport, and private space tourism. Also on that infographic, you have various models of spacecraft that they have designed already, but I think the most promising design is the Starship, and the goal of that is to transport thousands of cargo and thousands of people to the moon and Mars. So far, they've done 300 successful launches. There's been millions of Starlink subscribers, and they've been able to reuse rockets. Now, I wanted to talk about their cash flow because I think that's important when I personally invest in a company or not. Do they have money that they're able to put back into the company, and do they have money that they're able to use to further develop themselves as a company? So when it comes to operational cash flow, they started off with $4.5 billion in 2023, and that's now risen to $7.1 billion in the trailing 12 months. Because of the rapid infrastructure scaling, their capital expenditures have reached negative $26.8 billion, which causes free cash flow to be in the negative, which is $19.5 billion. So to mitigate this, SpaceX is relying on external financing by bringing in $33.12 billion through a combination of debt and capital stock issuance. So in my opinion, I believe they're going public to hopefully get some of that money back through stock purchases. Now, when we look at the stock as a whole, since it dropped June 12th, 2026 at a price of around $150, it peaked at $211 a share, and now it's currently at about $185 a share. But overall, it's increased 23%. Now, that's great. But if you look at that graph, if you look at the data that you currently see, it almost looks like a mountain, but it looks like a mountain on the decline. Now, there's not enough evidence to make a strong conclusion, but the strongest evidence that I find is the cash flow. That's normally what happens when I look at any stock. Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Apple, those are just a couple stocks. Based off of what I know now, I don't think it's the best idea to put all your chips in this basket right now. Do I think SpaceX will grow in the next 10 to 20 years? Absolutely. Will I invest in this company? Absolutely. But what I put in now is going to differ from what I put in when it comes to the future. And I say this because I'd have to wait into the earnings report on August 5th or 6th to really determine the trajectory of SpaceX as a whole. How much am I going to put in? I'm going to put in about $30 to $50 a month leading up to the earnings report. But I believe that if it misses the mark on earnings, it will drop. And even if it hits the projected earnings or surpasses it, I think it will slightly drop. Why? Because that has been continuously happening with all the stocks that I personally invest in. I'll give you two examples: Google and Nvidia. Once those two companies announced earnings, yes, it rose a little bit, but then there was a little bit of a sell-off. And I think that was because shareholders were trying to collect their profits. But it's not a bad thing, it's just small things that I notice. Insanity is doing the wrong thing over and over again, right? So I don't want to make that same mistake. Would I think it's foolish to not invest in SpaceX at all? In my opinion, yes, but at the same time, that's understandable if you want more data and more evidence to prove why you should invest in SpaceX. In my opinion, I think SpaceX has the support from the public. Obviously, it surpassed Amazon in terms of revenue, and it's only been out for about a week and some change. So that is actually pretty impressive. I'm investing in SpaceX, just a very small amount. I hope you could watch or listen to this video and come up with a more solid conclusion as to whether or not you should invest in SpaceX. I will continue to drop videos on various stocks that I invest in and companies that I believe in. And stay tuned, have many new videos coming out in the future. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.